Welcome, guys, to yet another podcast by Manna Style. Today, we'll be talking about Indian education system and its influence on students. So, I have Mr. Naveen Gokan with me over here, who has achieved all-rounder student award among the 700 students present in our college, and he deserves this trophy because he is an all-rounder. To be very honest, he plays basketball, football. He is topper at the dean's list, and I don't know what else he's going to achieve, and I'm sure that he's going to achieve some great heights. So I think that he would be very helpful for us to understand the current scenario of our country and its education system. So Naveen, should we just dive right into it? Are you ready?
Yeah, definitely, Ganesh. Thanks a lot for calling me into this podcast, and hopefully, we'll be discussing some real stuff about the education system, and hope I can help everyone who's viewing this podcast. Yeah.
So, okay, Naveen. So, my very first question to you is: so you have been studying in Dubai, and now you have came to India for further studies for undergrad, right? So, what is the major difference between the education system of Dubai when you compare it to Indian education system?
Uh, to be very honest, I found it it was somewhat same because I was from a CBSE school.
Mhm.
Most of my, all of my classmates and all teachers were from Indian origin itself. So we followed the same curriculum and the same education system. That it was a CBSE school.
Yeah.
But what differs, I would say, from other schools, other curriculum like an A level school or an O level school or any school that is following another system, they have a very different way of teaching, and which is very contrasting to what we have in terms of our syllabus and in our terms of delivering the
Yeah.
knowledge to students. So yeah, there we have a lot of flexibility in which by which you can study things or you know get to know about whatever it is. I mean, so here in India, and the Indian curriculum system is very rigid,
Yeah.
where you are there's one way, or there's no way. But there it's not like that. A level schools, O level schools, they have a different way on how to assess students, and it's not just the the basic way how students are assessed over here.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, definitely, man. And like we have done our undergraduation right now, right? And we have no idea where we have to go. Like many of us, the majority of us do not know what they want to do right now with their lives. Maybe because of pandemic, or maybe they aren't that goal oriented, or whatever the reasons are, right? So, do you think that every college, every school in our Indian education who are following the Indian education system should have a career counselor or a student counselor with them?
Okay. So for this, I would first like to address the current pandemic situation and how everyone needs to bring out the best in
Yeah.
this time. So
Mm.
yeah, I mean, it is kind of difficult for many students to find themselves job, especially the graduates of 2020 or 2021. We are kind of in a situation where there is a crux for need for students to join corporate organizations or any other venture that a student is planning to take up. But
Mm.
right now, there are opportunities which is like very rare and like also very difficult. But right now, it would be best for everyone to kind of take this time off and kind of analyze things on how the companies, the organizational structure right now is, and how it's going to be in the coming few
Yeah.
days. So
Yeah.
just keep thoroughly analyzing these things and how the market is reacting. And definitely, once everything comes down, you should be in a position to go ahead with whatever you had planned at the earliest time. Now coming to career counseling and career guidance, definitely uh, it is the need right now, because colleges and universities, they have students who still are kind of confused, or kind of dazed on what it is that they
Yeah.
want to become, and they need someone to guide them with the what it is that, what is their inner conscience telling them to pursue, like so yeah, I mean, career guidance is required, and a counselor uh, is very much required, because they know how to help students, and depending
Yeah.
on the difficulties that students have, they can definitely assist them. And students may not be comfortable sharing the same thing with their peers or their teachers, and yeah.
Cool, cool. Yeah. And according to me, man, creativity is the key, right? In like, if you consider the education system of abroad countries, what they emphasize on is the creativity. It's one of the reasons that they are ahead of us in time, right? So, do you think that our Indian education system has not evolved much from the past eons? And is there a need to change the Indian education system, because it is taking out creativity from all the students? Is that the case?
Okay. Okay. So the thing with, to be very frank, the Indian education system, the let us say the curriculum that we have, or the methodology of content that we have, is one of the most beautiful things that we have all around the world, I would say. So that is something very precise, and students can find what they want to do within the curriculum. Now, where we lack is the way the education is uh, put up to students, like
Mm.
teachers, and how information is available to us is kind of where we lack right now. I
Yeah.
mean, everything has become a business, right? And
Mm.
uh, so the pure intent of delivering the most apt education is right now, is that's not being followed, is what I feel.
Yeah.
uh, because I'm saying this, because the education system is kind of beautiful, is because so there are universities in Dubai. I mean, I'm saying with respect to what I've seen, there are universities over there which consider Indian curriculums to be the most superior.
Mm.
So let us say I pass my 12th high school with, let us say, 80% in CBSE, right? And when I apply to a university over there, which is following a different system, which is not even remotely close to the Indian system, they consider my percentage as a 90%, which is
Oh.
a plus 10%, because
Mm.
their intent is that, yes, the Indian curriculum system is kind of heavy, and the student has much more caliber in um, what he or she has learned.
Yeah.
Now, we can take this differently, because with respect to creativity, we can say that yes, uh, it has put creativity to jeopardy.
Yeah.
This is because the load. I mean, many students are not able to take the load, and also very there are a lot of factors that determine the creativity of a child. I mean, it starts from a very young age, and how
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
think, and there are a lot of factors, and you cannot solely blame the Indian education system. But yeah, it does have a very major role, because many students find it very difficult to cope up with their
Yeah.
education, their studies, and a lot of parents also start to put their children for tuitions. I mean, which is although not very necessary at a very young age. So the
Mm-hmm.
child is losing time, and he's kind of made to follow a single path without any choices.
Yeah.
So you are bound to follow that mundane syllabus, and you don't have the liberty to be creative. Although we have seen a lot of people who have overcome that obstacle, and they have actually been really creative minds from
Mm.
India.
Yeah.
So, And that's also a reason why universities abroad also, I mean, you see the population, the Indian population or the Asian population, because of their very strict, according to the American society, that's what they think, right? We have
Yeah.
followed a more strict and a more rigid education system, and they see that, yeah, we have a much more, we have a greater caliber that's
Mm.
there. But I mean, it's very dynamic. There are a lot of factors that come that needs to be addressed in this situation.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, we do need to find more creative time to be more creative and
Mm.
rather than stick to just studies, whatever it is.
Yeah. 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 So yeah, Indian education system does give you an overall development. That's for sure. That's the thing I second. But what actually is the problem is the grading system, according to me, right? So grading system is something that has not evolved with our education system, and it is like if you have good grades, you would be something in the future. If you do not have, you would be a loser in your further life. So that is one mentality which really is affecting the students in our society, right? Mentally as well as emotionally. So what are your what is your take on that? Yeah.
Okay, so first, let us talk with from the education system's point of view. It would make sense for them to assess everyone on a common ground, that is marks. Now, let us talk about this from a student's perspective. Not all of us have the same caliber. We all have different interests, and studying the same thing, not everyone has the same interest, and you cannot naturally expect all of us to uh, kind of be in the same range of marks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is where we fall short, right? This is where we are in a very inflexible situation where everyone has to follow the same grading system, right? There is no way in which you are assessed in your own caliber range, or there are not a group of students who are competing in the same caliber range. It's everyone who's um, who's in the same battleground.
Yeah.
So this needs to be changed in India, to be very honest, because in abroad universities and schools, they have something called an adaptive grading system rather than what we have in India, which is like sort of an absolute GPA system, right?
Yeah.
Their adaptive system works in a way which you set your parameter for the grading system. Now, let us say I am a student who's 60% or a 70%. I will only be assessed on how I'm performing with respect to my 60 or 70%. If I go above 70%, my grading increases. If I come below 70%, that grading decreases. But it's all with respect to me, and it's not compared to anyone else who's on 80 or a 90%. So that needs to be that needs to be evolved in India, but I think we are still a long way to go. We
Yeah.
are following the very trivial system in India, and which is kind of causing a harm, which is causing great harm to a lot of students emotionally, mentally, because I mean it's very evident that not everyone they are in the right place, right?
Yeah.
And you cannot expect them to compete with the same situation. Everyone has different circumstances or different things going on in their mind.
Yeah.
So an adaptive system is one way to bring about the harmony that's there from the student side. Yeah, I mean it is difficult, but yeah, that should be necessary right now.
Yeah. One thing is that students are pressurized because they are getting low grades in our society. Like if you talk about relatives, they would tell that if your child is getting a 60%, then they would be like, thoda usko mehnat karwao. Like he needs to cope up with the current scenario, which is very competitive, right? So like so it is very competitive, to be very honest, right? So
Yeah.
one piece of advice you want to give to the student who is struggling right now with his marks or her marks, and what he or she should do?
I would bluntly say, fuck the people, talking shit. Like, I'm very sorry to say, but yeah,
That's fine.
I'm saying this very blandly, but fuck them, because they have very orthodox thinking, and they are comparing people on different grounds. I mean, it's become it's like a signature that you either become a doctor, you become an engineer, or even if it is in commerce, you do CA, and no one even looks at you when you're doing anything apart from that. But this societal pressure is completely different. Like, we cannot really I mean, for that, a lot of other things need to be changed, right? For that, like, even the millennials and above, that generation needs to be educated in a different manner, right? So I mean, it's not wrong from their part, but they definitely need to understand that time is changing right now. More heed is given to mental stability and mental health of students. Like, they need to be psychologically stable to bring about, like, to not really pay much attention to societal pressure, which is difficult. I mean, we are grown up in the same society. Every Indian has that mentality that bring padhao, bachche ko padhao, and that's the only way to bring the best about a child, right? So I mean, we need to overcome that. But my advice to everyone is, this is true, and everyone is vulnerable to societal pressure. But we should know for a fact that what it is that we want to do, and if we stick to that and follow our dreams, I think no one should stop us. No one will be able to stop us, and then we can prove them wrong. Padhai is not the only thing.
Beautiful. Yeah, true, man, true. And one thing, like, talking about our passion. So how important is it, according to you, to find someone's passion? What is its importance? Why is it so pivotal, for one? And also, like, there is this problem that one may find his passion, but how to stick to it is another problem, is a different problem for them, right? So what is your take on that?
So many people may have a passion that lies outside the, which lies outside what the Indian community kind of prescribes you, right? Some may be into football, or some may be into media, or something like that. And I can say that it is very difficult in that situation, when you are trying to do something different, where everyone is trying to push you to do the same thing. I mean, it's going to be very difficult. But again, this is all within you, how passionate you are, and passion is very important, because if it is one thing that you really want to do, and I think that'll make you happier the most if you're able to achieve it. So try as much as you can to stick to your passion, and you need to defend yourself when people are coming at you, when they're questioning you about what is it that you want to do. I would say be bold about it, because if not now, then things will never change ahead, and we have future generations to come as well. So we need to be the ones to stand out and actually say that this is what I want to do. I know it's different, but I don't care about money. I mean, it's very common right now. People are battling for money right now, right? You become a doctor, you become an engineer, but to be very honest, that's what is the weak link right now. Engineering and doctors, we are finding it it's kind of more difficult, and we are biotechnologists. It's like merging both the sadness and so I mean, follow your passion. Screw money. I mean, if that's what gives you happiness, go for it and stand for yourself. That's all.
Yeah, true. And so I would like to end this podcast with a sweet anecdote of yours, man. Like, I know you haven't always been a meritocrat, right? You haven't always been this good in studies while you were in your junior high school, right? You have also flunked a class. So almost flunked. Yeah. So I would like to share, I would like you to share this instance with all of the audience listening to you, and let them know that what has it taught you and what are the lessons you took from that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, must be surprising to many that, yeah, I almost did flunk in my ninth grade.
Yeah.
I was literally passed with grace marks. I thank my math teacher for that. She gave me a D grade in the exam. But yeah, so till then, what had happened was again, it was my parents sort of, kind of confusing me on what I wanted to become. So I was really in a place where I actually didn't know what is it that I want to become, right? So I didn't find purpose in studying or, bringing about the best in education or knowledge. I would just do it for the sake of it. And I kind of faltered when that happened in ninth grade, which is why that incident had taken place, and that gave me a very strong realization that there is something that I need to figure out what I want to do in my life.
Yeah.
And that was somewhere revolving around biology and biotechnology, and something that is what I thought would bring the best in my life. So ever since that gave me a purpose to fight, to actually struggle. So that gave me a purpose to struggle, and people do find themselves not able to focus and all that. That's only because you are still dazed about what it is that you want to do, and even if you know what is it that you want to do, you don't know how to get about it, right? I mean, that's very natural. And I'm glad that I found this at a very early time of my life, and I kind of urge everyone to spend this time. This pandemic is a great time to kind of explore what it is that you want to do, so that you at least want to start somewhere, right? And now the world has come to a pause. This is the time where you get to answer your unanswered questions on what is it that you wanted to do, but college or education didn't let you do that. So now everyone is peacefully sitting at home and try to bring out the best of this pandemic. You need to realize what it is that you want to do, and then only you will get a head start when the world starts in the next coming months. You will get a clearer picture. I hope you all get a clearer picture. And then naturally everyone is going to see a better self in that particular time. And for everyone who is kind of contemplating on college and education, uh, uh, I mean, yeah, it is. It's not what you want to do, I mean, it is very difficult to kind of keep that aside and do what you want to actually do. But right now, I would say just do it. I mean, you'll need to struggle, and there are different ways with which you can kind of bring your focus level upstairs, and how you need to compete so that you can actually get higher, get to a higher place from where you are right now.
Definitely, man. Thank you for sharing that with us. And I hope that this advices all of the perspectives you have took into account in this podcast. I hope this reaches to students more, because they are the one in needs. They are the one that needs it. And yes, to all the students struggling out there with their marks and everything, please don't consider anything. It's your mental stability, your mental peace is what matters the most to everyone. So it doesn't matter how well you score, how bad you score, it doesn't matter. Just keep up. You are going to do great in life. So I'd like to thank Naveen. Thank you so much for being with us today, man. It was really insightful, and I hope this helps a lot of students who are watching this.
Definitely. And I think I have another advice to everyone who are doing knowledge and doing studies. So this is about competition, right? So we all find ourselves in a very heavy competition to score the best marks. But I would suggest everyone to kind of gain this ability to compete with themselves rather than comparing and trying to battle it out with others. I think that's the most healthiest way to compete. That is, compete with yourself. You want to be better than what you are right now, not better than what anyone is right now. So do that, and definitely the best will be brought out from this. So that's my only hope and request to everyone, and that's how everyone will find success eventually in their life.
Definitely. Thanks, man. Thanks for being on this platform with me. Really helped
Yeah,
it.
no, actually,
Really
yeah,
is helpful.
great.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks.
Sure, sure, sure.